Hello and welcome to the Text for Resistance Team orientation. My name is Dylan and I'm the National Volunteer Manager with the Working Families Party. I'm really glad that you've joined us and are interested in joining the Text for Resistance team. This is a volunteer team that's been active over the past several months, really since a little bit after the election, to support and activate, organize, and push resistance into the next level by using the tools known as peer-to-peer texting. So this is an exciting new technology that we've been utilizing to build the resistance and to support our allies and actions wherever they may be taking place. Right now, we're focused on an exciting project called the Progressive Heroes 2017 project. Working Families has endorsed almost 1,000 progressive candidates, real fighters, a lot of them activists and organizers themselves, that are running for office to move us into the phase of not just fighting back, but taking the power back as well. So that's why joining this team is really a vital way to be able to make a contribution and help elect these progressive heroes across the country. So first and foremost, a little bit about our team. The Resist Here Text for Resistance team, as a project of Working Families Party, is an intentional community of activists which uses peer-to-peer texting to organize, activate, and grow the resistance and to elect. So we're organized as local groups of texters, which are led by regional leaders. I'll define those roles a little bit more later, but our overall focus is providing rapid response on Resist Here and Working Families actions. Those can be demonstrations, protests, or, as we're talking about now, electing progressive candidates to office. We send action details, toolkits, and local and national calls to action to our network and hold elected officials accountable, or we give them the boot and elect someone better. So I'm going to describe a little bit of how you get started and become a part of the team. Obviously, we don't want to belabor you with too many steps here, so that's why there are just 3 easy steps. You're watching the orientation video now, so thank you. After this is done, you'll see in the description of this video a link to take the simple quiz. This will just make sure that you understand the pieces and how to get texting right away using the tool called Relay. And then you will receive an invitation immediately to join our National Activist Slack channel. This is where we talk to each other. This is where we can share files, we can chat, build community, give updates, and importantly, receive some assignments and help you get oriented as a new member to the Text for Resistance team. And one note on Slack: if you haven't used Slack before, don't panic. It's a great new tool. Lots of activist communities are using it, but if you haven't used it before, we will provide you with a little bit of training. We will provide some documentation, so we'll make it very, very easy for you. One of the ways that we do that is when you are joining our community, our team, once you join the Slack channel, a welcomer will guide you when you first start. And these are volunteers that have been working with us sometimes for 6, 7 months, folks that are really well seasoned and really have been working with our tools and the Slack team and the community for a while. So they are very well qualified to get you set up and get you going on helping to elect these candidates. One of the first things that you're going to want to do is sign up for a text shift, and there's a simple form that a welcomer will provide for you, and we will provide that for you automatically every week to just let us know when you're available for that week over the next several weeks until election day. We have one election coming up on October 3rd, and then in November as well. So you can let us know when you're available to send text messages to support candidates, but you can also let your welcomer know kind of your general availability schedule. That's helpful for us to know how many texters are going to be helping out on a particular campaign. Now the next step here is I'm going to give a very quick training on Relay. And Relay is a simple tool. Honestly, it's very, very simple. Once you've signed in, and one of the first things that you'll receive once you've completed the quiz, as you remember the next step, is you'll receive an emailed invitation to join our Relay team. And you'll see that come from an email address that will show up on your screen here. That's noreply@relaytxt.io. Now I want to show you what a Relay assignment looks like. This is your assignments page. This is the first thing that you'll see once you've signed in. So now you're part of the team, you've received an assignment, and when you are assigned to a new campaign, you can see there are several here of different things we've worked on. But you'll also receive an email that will link you right to that assignment. On your assignments page, you can see all of the different assignments that you can join, and we're going to go into the orientation test to show you a little bit of how this works. Now, when you first start sending messages, the way it looks is you'll have your contacts on the left-hand side here, your messages in the middle, and if you're just first starting a campaign, you won't see any messages here. But what I'm showing you one that we've already started. And on the right-hand side, this right third, this is where you'll see campaign information and also survey questions and recommended replies. So I'm going to go through each one of these sections one by one to describe what each one does. First and foremost, starting on the left here, this is your contact window. This window will show you the contacts that you're going to be reaching out to. It will not show you their specific contact information, but it will show you their name, and it will show you a little snippet of the most recent message that either you've sent or has been received from that contact. Now, a thing to note, these messages that are going out are just seen as text messages to your contact. The contact, when they send back a message, you'll see it here in this pane. So this is very much like a web portal form of the simple text messaging application that you use on your phone. The middle pane here, this is the message window, and here you can see the entire conversation. The messages I've sent are here in the black windows, black bubbles, I should say. The messages that I've received from the contact are here in these gray bubbles. And I've also been assigned a new message to send, so I'm going to send this to beta tester, and ask for their vote for Progressive Heroes this November. Now, sending messages is as simple as hitting the send button here. And when you're first assigned, this message will be pre-populated for you. So it saves the fuss, and it makes it really simple to send lots of messages to many different contacts. Now, when I first start sending messages, you have to hit the send button, and you have to hit the send button for each one of your contacts. Now, that's important because you're going to need to send it. If you have 250 contacts that you've been assigned, you're going to need to hit the send button 250 times. It's a little bit tedious, but that's why I recommend having a little bit of a a good beverage or some tunes, so something to relax to while you click that button a couple hundred times. But after you've done that, what you'll do next is wait for responses. Now, I ended up sending a response to myself and to one of my great friends here. So we'll see responses come in. Oh, great, we got a response. Now I want to show you when you start receiving responses, you'll see their name show up again in the contact window over here. Beta tester responded with hello. and you'll see that a response is waiting for you, indicated by this little blue dot. Now, the next step here is, after you've sent out your initial messages, the next step is doing two things. One, you need to tally the results that you receive. So that's why the survey pane over here that's what we use this survey pane here for. And then we want to send them back a response. Make sure that they know we've received their response and thank them for taking action or for their vote or for getting involved. So we have a hello. That's not really a clear answer if we can count on a vote yet. So I'm going to write a response here. And I can always type whatever message I want to. I'm going to ask Beta, can we count on your vote? So you can type anything you want to in there, but oftentimes it's easier to use recommended responses to automatically put in the message that you want to send. And I'll cover recommended responses in a moment, but I can send that message here. All right, so now I have a response of I will from me. So for this, I'm going to go over to my survey result, and I'm going to mark it down as a yes. The recommended responses come in to be able to make your life simple and everybody's life simple, instead of having to type the same message over and over and over again for everyone that says yes or no or anything like that. All you have to do is go down to recommended replies, and we have some pre-populated. This is not the perfect answer for this question, but this is just an example, so it works fine. So what I'm going to do is I just use the yes option here, and I can hit send. I can also send a different response here, or give more information about who we are as a team. I can also set up my own replies in here by opening up my replies and going to Manage Saved Replies. And you can see I've set up a few that we've used on our team. You can always go back, I should point out, using this back button to the previous pane. And oftentimes, if there are responses that you receive from a contact that don't fit the surveys that we've predetermined here in the survey window, we'll include a notes section. And that you can just type any free-form text there and click Save. So say I've gone through all my responses and I'm getting more responses in. I just want to be able to clear out my inbox essentially. So that's what the archive button is for here. So once I've done and we've concluded that conversation, I know that they're voting for a candidate or coming to the action. The archive button just removes that conversation from the list, only temporarily and only until that contact sends a new text message to you. So don't worry, you're not deleting it, you're just archiving it. So I can archive these. Once I've gone through and done that, I'm at inbox 0. Now an important note too to mention is also next to the archive button, I can show you in another campaign, is the opt-out button. So the opt-out button should only be used in cases where we have been asked specifically to not text that contact. Please use that sparingly. It's very important that we don't overuse it. If someone just doesn't support the campaign, then you can just include a no response, or you can just archive the conversation. But it's not necessary to opt them out. If somebody says stop or indicates please do not text this number, then that's when you'll use the opt-out button. One thing to mention, or last thing here, that's always fun, and I recommend using it quite a bit, is using emojis. So emojis help to elicit responses. They, communicate that we're having fun, and I do encourage it. Use some fun emojis. Of course, for the resistance, the fists emoji is an amazing one. You can always find it in here. Select any skin tone within the emoji. And there's lots and lots to use here. So I do encourage that. You can include that there, or you can use a tool like Emojipedia, something like that, to copy and paste emojis and put them in there. Great. So that concludes the training. Relay is very, very simple. Once you've done it once, you've got it down. It's an easy tool, and that's exactly why it's making a huge difference in elections and in action campaigns. So to just conclude, we are getting on the map all across the country, and our job as a texting team is to be able to organize, recruit, and turn out voters for these amazing election campaigns that, since we've just launched, we're getting them all over the map, starting all over the country. So we definitely need your help. We need you to get involved. The next step, to give you a preview, is to take the orientation quiz. You will find a link to it just below, and it's very, very simple, and we're ready to work with you.